Amara Nwachukwu moved from Enugu to Abuja to start her new job at a tech consulting firm. She arrived at her friend Chisholm's apartment in Gwarinpa late in the evening. Abuja was loud, busy, and intimidating compared to the calm streets of Enugu. But Amara felt excitement, a sense of independence. She unpacked her things slowly, savoring the feeling of a fresh start. The next morning, rain poured heavily. Amara rushed to the small kiosk near Chisholm's apartment to buy airtime. The rain trapped her under the tiny roof. A Toyota Camry stopped abruptly. A man stepped out offering her a ride. He introduced himself as Chike, an engineer. At first, she hesitated, but the rain worsened. She accepted. Chike was calm, serious, and polite. Conversation flowed easily. Laughter came naturally. Their bond grew quickly over the next few weeks. They shared meals, stories, and daily routines. Amara felt safe around him. Chike listened and cared genuinely. Then Chike mentioned his mother, Mama Ebele, with caution. He warned that she was overprotective and difficult. Amara nodded but didn't fully understand the implications. One evening, as the two shared dinner at Chike's house, a knock came. Mama Ebele entered unannounced. She examined Amara coldly. Her voice was sharp. "You are the one cooking?" "Yes, Ma," Amara answered politely. Mama's eyes scanned the room. "For who?" Amara hesitated. "For us." Mama smirked. "I will see how this works." She left soon after, promising to return. Amara sensed tension. Chike explained that his mother had a history of disliking women he dated. Amara accepted it quietly, determined to maintain respect while preparing for challenges. Days passed. Mama's presence grew disruptive. She criticized Amara's cooking, rearranged furniture, and made unsolicited comments. Amara remained calm, trying not to escalate conflicts. She focused on her job and relationship with Chike. One morning, Mama accused Amara of poisoning her tea. The neighbors heard shouting. Chike defended Amara. The tea was normal. Mama left angrily, but Amara learned that this behavior had affected Chike's previous relationships. Amara realized that Mama Ebele was not just overbearing but strategic, protective, and controlling. She resolved to be patient and strong, knowing that her bond with Chike was worth defending. Amara and Chike continued their relationship cautiously, navigating small battles with Mama Ebele. They shared private moments of laughter and love, reinforcing their commitment. Amara began to understand the depth of Mama's influence on Chike's life and prepared herself for the long struggle ahead. Chisholm, observing Amara's resilience, encouraged her. "You must stay firm. Don't let her break you." Amara nodded, embracing her determination. The first chapter of her Abuja life had begun, marked by rain, unexpected meetings, and a mother-in-law who would challenge every step of her path. The storm outside mirrored the storm inside the household. Amara knew this was only the beginning. Mama Ebele had arrived in force, and the balance of peace and conflict was delicate. Every action, every word, every gesture would be scrutinized. Amara had to be clever, patient, and strong. Evenings became tense. Amara would plan her meals meticulously, knowing Mama might inspect them. She walked carefully through the house, aware of her movements. Every interaction with Mama was measured. Chike supported her silently, offering small reassurances through gestures and whispered words. He wanted Amara to feel safe, but he also wanted to maintain peace with his mother. Over time, Amara noticed patterns in Mama Ebele's behavior. She would arrive unannounced, often criticizing minor details. She made suggestions that seemed helpful but were loaded with criticism. Amara learned to smile, nod, and wait for Chike's support. One evening, Mama challenged Amara directly. "You think you can control my son with your cooking and your quiet ways?" Amara held her ground. "I only wish to share a home peacefully, Ma." Mama's eyes narrowed. "Peaceful? We'll see how peaceful you remain." Chike intervened gently. "Mama, let's respect each other." Mama Ebele left, muttering warnings. Amara's resolve strengthened. She realized that winning over Mama would require more than kindness. It would require patience, strategy, and resilience. Amara also focused on her work. She excelled at the tech firm, earning recognition from supervisors and colleagues. This gave her confidence and a sense of identity outside the household. She began inviting Chisholm over more often, finding relief in her friend's support. Despite the constant pressure from Mama, Amara and Chike grew closer. They shared laughter, intimate conversations, and plans for the future. The tension at home became a backdrop to their growing love. Amara learned that resilience was not just about surviving attacks, but about nurturing joy amidst challenges. Amara also started understanding Mama's motivations. She realized Mama feared losing control over her son and was protective to the point of manipulation. Understanding this allowed Amara to respond strategically, not reactively. She learned to maintain her dignity while managing Mama's temper. The first part of the story concludes with Amara reflecting on her journey so far. She had arrived in Abuja seeking independence, love, and career success. She had found all three, but each came with challenges. Mama Ebele was a formidable opponent, but Amara was determined to navigate the storm with intelligence, patience, and grace. As night fell, Amara prepared dinner, ensuring every detail was perfect. She glanced at Chike, who smiled reassuringly. Outside, the city lights of Abuja twinkled like stars, oblivious to the household drama. Amara took a deep breath, knowing the challenges ahead would test her strength, wisdom, and resilience. The real battle with Mama Ebele was only beginning, and Amara was ready. The days after Amara settled into Chike's house grew increasingly tense. Mama Ebele's visits became more frequent. She arrived at unpredictable hours, often making unsolicited criticisms about the house, meals, and Amara's behavior. Each remark was carefully calculated to undermine Amara's confidence. Amara learned to remain composed. She continued her work at the consulting firm, excelled in her projects, and often stayed late, knowing that Mama's presence was strongest during the evening hours. Chike supported her quietly, offering small gestures of reassurance and brief moments of calm amidst the storm. Mama's attacks escalated. She criticized the arrangement of the living room, claiming that the furniture placement was inappropriate. She dismissed Amara's meals, insisting that her own cooking was superior. Amara maintained silence, absorbing the blows without retaliation. Patience became her shield. One afternoon, Mama arrived unannounced while Amara was preparing lunch. She inspected the utensils and pots. "These are not proper," she declared. "I cannot allow my son to eat from these." Amara bowed politely and replaced the pot silently. Chike intervened, but Mama waved him off with a sharp gesture, asserting her authority. Amara noticed a pattern. Mama thrived on control and observation. She used indirect criticism to unsettle her, watching carefully for reactions. Amara began anticipating these moves, preparing responses that were calm, measured, and respectful, never giving Mama the satisfaction of seeing her upset. Despite the tension, Amara found solace in her private moments. She and Chike shared dinners away from the house, walks in Gwarinpa, and quiet nights discussing dreams and future plans. Their bond strengthened as they learned to navigate the challenges Mama imposed. Mama escalated further by questioning Amara's background, family, and intentions. She implied that Amara's quiet demeanor was suspicious, hinting that she had motives beyond marrying Chike. Amara responded with calm honesty, providing small pieces of information while maintaining her dignity. This strategy gradually reduced Mama's ability to manipulate conversations. One evening, after an argument over dinner presentation, Mama accused Amara of trying to trap Chike with her meals. Chike finally confronted her mother, defending Amara firmly. The confrontation marked the first clear division between Chike's loyalty to his mother and his commitment to Amara. Mama left the house with a threat. She would return and intensify her scrutiny. Amara realized that this was not a battle to be won in a day. It required strategy, patience, and endurance. She strengthened her emotional resilience, learning to remain calm under pressure, and focusing on actions that reinforced her strength, dignity, and independence. Chisholm visited regularly, offering advice, support, and humor. She reminded Amara that Mama's behavior was a test, not a reflection of her worth. Amara embraced this perspective, using it to bolster her confidence and maintain her focus on both personal and professional growth. The conflict reached a peak when Mama accused Amara of dishonesty, implying that she had hidden intentions. The accusation escalated into a public argument during a family visit. Chike defended Amara openly, stating that her integrity was unquestionable. Mama Ebele, frustrated by the lack of fear and reaction, left abruptly, signaling a temporary retreat. During the quiet moments that followed, Amara reflected on the journey so far. She had navigated intimidation, manipulation, and criticism, emerging more confident, assertive, and emotionally intelligent. Chike's support reinforced her resilience, and their partnership became a sanctuary of trust and love amidst the storm. Amara realized that Mama's power lay not in her authority but in Amara's reaction to it. By maintaining calm, dignity, and strategic responses, Amara had begun to reclaim agency within the household. Each small victory reinforced her belief that patience, courage, and consistency were essential tools in navigating difficult relationships. Work became another domain of empowerment. Amara's success at the tech consulting firm provided validation, independence, and financial stability. It also gave her confidence to assert herself at home when necessary, without provoking unnecessary conflict. Chike and Amara began planning their future together, discussing the wedding and life beyond Mama's scrutiny. These plans offered hope and motivation, reinforcing their commitment to one another. Mama's interference continued sporadically, but Amara's calm, strategic approach gradually reduced its intensity. The household tension persisted, But the dynamic had shifted. Amara was no longer merely reacting. She was controlling her responses and subtly shaping interactions to minimize conflict while maintaining her dignity. The tension in Chike's household had reached a boiling point. Mama Ebele's presence was a constant storm, and her manipulations had grown more aggressive. Each day brought new challenges, inspections, criticisms, and subtle threats that tested Amara's patience and composure. Yet, Amara had learned to remain calm, measured, and strategic, turning her resilience into quiet strength. One morning, Mama arrived unannounced, accompanied by a pastor she claimed could deliver Amara from evil spirits. The pastor began speaking directly to Amara, attempting to touch her head and recite prayers forcefully. Amara stepped back firmly, refusing the intrusion. Mama declared it proof of witchcraft, escalating the situation. Chike intervened decisively for the first time, standing firmly between his mother and Amara. He spoke with authority, defending Amara in front of both Mama and the pastor. The intensity of his protection shocked Mama, who had always controlled the household. For the first time, Chike's loyalty to Amara outweighed his mother's influence. Undeterred, Mama called a full family meeting in Kuje, demanding that the elders witness her claims against Amara. Aunties, uncles, and other family members gathered, creating a charged atmosphere. Mama laid out her accusations: disrespect, manipulation, and even witchcraft. She expected agreement and support. Amara calmly explained the events, her words measured, clear, and without malice. She detailed Mama's manipulations and her own responses, emphasizing her intentions to maintain peace and respect within the household. The elders listened intently, observing the dynamic between mother, son, and daughter-in-law. The elders ultimately sided with Amara, concluding that Mama Ebele had acted unfairly and manipulated situations to control her son's relationships. For the first time, Mama faced opposition within her family, losing the unquestioned authority she had wielded for years. This marked a turning point in the household power dynamic. Chike proposed to Amara shortly after the meeting, solidifying their commitment and demonstrating a united front against Mama's manipulations. Amara accepted, knowing that the battles with Mama were not over, but a significant victory had been won. Evenings following the proposal were tense but more stable. Mama continued to maintain distance, attending events reluctantly and avoiding direct confrontation. Amara continued to approach interactions with patience and strategic calm, understanding that influence and respect would be gained over time, not demanded. During the engagement period, Amara and Chike continued to build their relationship on trust, mutual respect, and shared goals. They planned the wedding meticulously, ensuring that family tensions were accounted for while maintaining harmony in the household. Amara's role as a stabilizing presence became evident to both Chike and his extended family. Mama Ebele attempted sporadic interventions, often disguised as concern. She questioned preparations, offered unsolicited advice, and occasionally criticized Amara's decisions. Each time, Amara responded with tact, reinforcing her dignity and composure while minimizing conflict. Chike's support remained unwavering, demonstrating his commitment to their partnership and providing a buffer against Mama's influence. As the wedding approached, the family dynamics shifted subtly. Aunties and uncles who had initially feared confronting Mama began supporting Amara, recognizing her strength and integrity. This shift weakened Mama's ability to dominate conversations and decisions, forcing her to reassess her approach. Amara also focused on nurturing relationships with other family members, building alliances through respect, kindness, and consistency. She understood that Mama's power relied on isolation and intimidation, so strengthening connections with others in the family diminished her influence. Over time, these efforts created a more balanced household dynamic, reducing tension and increasing collaboration. The engagement period also allowed Amara and Chike to address personal and professional aspirations together. They discussed career goals, financial planning, and long-term life objectives, reinforcing their partnership beyond the immediate challenges posed by Mama Ebele. This alignment provided stability and confidence in their shared future. One evening, Mama attempted a final confrontation, expressing disapproval of certain wedding arrangements. Amara remained calm, listening carefully, and responding respectfully while standing firm on her decisions. Chike supported her, ensuring that Mama understood her authority was no longer absolute. By the end of Part 3, the major confrontation had concluded. Mama Ebele's power had been challenged and diminished. Amara had established her authority and respect within the household, and Chike's loyalty and support provided a strong foundation for their life together. The stage was set for the final resolution, where acceptance and peace would be established on Amara's terms, and lessons learned by all involved would solidify the family dynamic for the future. The wedding preparations were underway, and the household was filled with a mix of excitement and lingering tension. Mama Ebele's presence remained noticeable, yet she attended meetings and rehearsals silently, often with a reserved expression. Amara understood that change would take time, and she maintained a calm, patient demeanor, knowing that peace would come gradually. Amara continued to demonstrate strength, patience, and respect in every interaction. She engaged with family members openly, listened to their concerns, and nurtured relationships built on trust and integrity. Over time, aunties, uncles, and other relatives began to admire her composure and capability. Mama Ebele noticed this shift but remained silent, her authority subtly challenged. Chike and Amara shared quiet moments amidst the wedding planning. They discussed their future, careers, and personal growth. Their relationship deepened as they learned to navigate family dynamics and external pressures together. Each moment of understanding reinforced their bond and commitment. The wedding day arrived. Mama Ebele attended, maintaining a neutral expression. She did not smile, but her presence indicated acknowledgement. Family members observed her demeanor, realizing that her influence was no longer absolute. Amara moved gracefully through the day, maintaining dignity and composure in every interaction. After the ceremony, Amara visited Mama Ebele with a gift, a basket of fruits and handwritten notes expressing peace and goodwill. Mama Ebele accepted the gesture quietly, her eyes reflecting surprise and a hint of respect. She said, "You're stronger than you look." It was not an apology, but it was acceptance. Over the following months, the household settled into a new rhythm. Mama Ebele maintained her distance but no longer attempted to undermine Amara. She attended family gatherings and events without conflict, signaling a truce of sorts. Amara continued to engage with patience and intelligence, solidifying her place in the family. Amara and Chike built a life based on mutual respect, shared goals, and understanding. They pursued careers, invested in their home, and nurtured relationships with extended family. The challenges with Mama Ebele had strengthened their partnership, teaching them the value of communication, patience, and strategic action. Amara reflected on the journey from her first days in Abuja to her wedding day. She had navigated manipulation, criticism, and conflict, emerging stronger, wiser, and more confident. She understood that some battles required silence, others demanded courage, and that strategic patience was a powerful tool. Chike learned that boundaries were essential even with family. He recognized the importance of supporting Amara firmly while managing his relationship with his mother. Mama Ebele learned that control could not override love, partnership, and personal agency. In the end, Amara and Chike's union symbolized more than love. It represented resilience, strategy, and the triumph of respect over manipulation. Mama Ebele's reluctant acceptance marked the final shift in the household dynamic, setting the stage for harmony and growth. The story concludes with Amara looking forward to the future, confident in her strength, relationships, and ability to navigate life's challenges. She had arrived in Abuja seeking independence and love, and she had achieved both, tempered by lessons in patience, courage, and strategy. The household, once dominated by conflict, now reflected balance, respect, and the promise of enduring peace.